big up, guys. This is the Creative Insight Podcast. We're in the building. Yeah.
One sec, just tilt the laptop down.
Tilt the laptop down. Yeah. Messages from the director Ace and that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. We're in the building, man. Bro, we're working. We're working today. We are here. Yeah. And we're in the building. So big up, bro, man.
Love.
Respect for featuring on the show each and every time, man. So tell them, introduce yourself. Tell them a bit about what you do and everything like that, man. We wanna learn everything about the whole process of the board game, yeah. And there's a lot of other processes of what you do and how you do it as well. So yeah, start off, man.
It's a little bit techie. Thanks for first of all, thank you very much for having me here, man. It's a true blessing and an honor. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful for that. But yeah, my name's Ashley. I run a company called Long Live Ludi, and we basically specialize in making board games. Ludii, to be precise. Ludii is kind of like a version of Ludo. Everybody kind of knows the board game Ludo. But in the Caribbean and kind of around the world, in India and other places, there's a slightly different version. The game's played with different rules. So we've kind of emphasized on the Caribbean version, revamped the board game a bit, and brought it to life maybe about 4 years ago now. We started on this journey.
Nice. And then what inspired you to create this board game? And
it's nuts, because it wasn't like like you get them sporadic moments, because it's something that's always been in the family, Ludii. That's always been a part of my culture and just around. And me and the wife one day decided that we were just going to make one. Like I said to her one day, babe, do you know about Ludii? And she was like, kinda. And I was like, yeah, I got a board, let's play it.
Yeah.
So I asked my mum for my board, but she told me at the time that she didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
But she did, but she told me at the time that she didn't have it.
Why? She trying to hide it?
Do you know what? Yeah. I need to ask her. That's a really good question. Because it was weird. It's like, I asked her for it. She said, nah, I threw it away long time ago. It was in the shed and it was rotting. So I said, all right, cool. So we went to some builders merchants and got some wood and went to the Hobbycraft and stuff like that and got some paints and just started to make our own board.
Wow.
And then when we finished making it and I showed my mum, she said, oh, do you know what? Now you've made that, you can come and get this other one that you've let us. And I was like, oh my God, so it was there. But it worked out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It all worked out for the best, right? Because you made an excellent board game with some good, I like the images that you use on there as well. So tell me a little bit about your background. Are you before you did the board game, what did you do? Anything creative? You must have done something creative, right?
So a lot of people would say that I probably did, because even now when I'm doing stuff on Instagram with this board game company, people from my school have said, you've always been able to draw or you've always been creative. But, back in them days, no one was screaming words like being a creative, it wasn't like a big thing. So I suppose, it's always been like that. I've always been a little bit different with my clothing and my style and how I do things. So, I suppose it's just always been in me. My uncle's a big artist as well. I didn't really pay attention to that though.
Artist in illustration, in music, because the artist is a broad term.
It's such a broad term, isn't it? So he's he runs a massive media company in advertisement, but I don't really know much about it. It's just when I was young, I remember him doing a lot of drawings.
Wow,
that weird age that you don't pay attention to what's going on around you, but
you just see
when I really think about it, I can go in his room and it'll just be like
bare artwork,
just loads of artwork and crazy little pencils and stuff. So I do think that it's a little bit hereditary, my creativity, because I can see it in my family already. But like I said, it's just when something just comes natural to you, you don't really notice.
Because as well, it's a lot of it is something. Sometimes it comes out later on in life as well.
Exactly.
Like what you say, you see your uncle, the drawings on the wall, the stuff like that, the pencils. It might not have clicked until later on in life. So that's actually interesting, man. And tell me a little bit about the artwork you have on the board, because it's graffiti inspired as well. So is that part of your inspiration too? So
are you kind of making reference to the latest thing that we've got out now? Yeah. So the latest thing that we've got out now is a foldable magnetic board game. That's gonna launch in August properly. But you're right, it is inspired from one of the boards that I've made previously, probably about two and a half years ago, we designed a board game that was London themed, you know, and it kind of like had London going through the middle, north, east, south, west.
Yeah.
And it was, everybody loved it. Everybody wanted it as well. And I kind of thought, wait a minute, I need to hold on to this one because this is getting a lot of attention. So I kind of held back on it. And then over the last few years, I've had, not last few years, but last year I had 3 events. And at those events, they were like knockout tournament-based events with a bit of a brunch theme. But anyway, at these events, I brought out the London theme board for the final. And again, I think it kind of just elevated that board into a place that I was like, yeah, this is my marquee board. This board is the one. So the one you're referring to is cut from that, basically.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope to do that in the future as well, you know, like when I go on to make other designs, I will look to see which ones were really popular and try and bring that into like a portable, foldable, transportable version. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's very interesting as well. Like the whole concept around it, I love it, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
But what makes it so unique now is because we're in this age of digital, everyone's on their phone, everyone's on TikTok, you know, Instagram, social media. For you to bring back this like something traditionally, you know, how has that been a challenge for you? Bro, like to convert some young people to, or you know, like certain generation, like.
That's a wicked question, you know, because I feel like the challenge has been more eternal, in all honesty.
Eternal or internal? Internal, okay.
Yeah, it's been more in my own head, I believe, because but when you're like, I don't want to get too deep with it, but when you feel like this has been a gift and someone's like pushing you, saying to you like, yo, do this is something, I'm kind of like, what, paint wooden board games? Like we're moving into a digital decade where, as you said, everyone's on their phones and stuff. And even for me, I was like, this ain't it. Like I didn't choose to go and do something like retro and go back into old school. And I didn't choose to do that. So I was kind of thinking, nah, this ain't right, man. But during the process of the journey, I've realized that there's so many different elements to this one board game that I've decided to work on, right? So eventually I will have like a gaming app where you get to play Long Live Ludi through the apps.
Epic.
And I will be able to do like use other digital platforms to kind of like showcase the brand in a different way.
So rather than going against it, you're working with it.
Yeah.
And you're making it work in your favor.
Right. And to bring it back, I think I was kind of favored in the sense that Long Live Ludi started in December 2019. And then I went away on holiday. And when I come back in the new year, it was lockdown. So I just kind of like, I had my Ludo board in it. So I was able to play that, post it on Instagram. People was like, yo, we get that. And I was like, I made it. Let me get one. Yeah. I had the time to do it. I was at home.
Yeah.
I thought, all right. So I just started making them like that, right? So it definitely just went from one thing to the next. It wasn't like a plan or nothing like that. So yeah, it's been good. The journey's been good. And then trying to like, as you said, talk about getting the younger generation involved, that to me was easy because I'm from the culture. So it's very easy for me to just like produce like a Michael Jordan Ludo board or something that I know.
Yeah, people are going to gravitate towards. So 100. I
made a few of them and I made them wicked, and so it just made people turn their heads, and I would make branded boards to match different designs or brands.
Is it the design then that you focused on most part of like your whole business? Is like the design part the most like important part for you, would you say?
Yeah, I think it has to be now. When I first started it, because I've got a bit of I've been in construction 14 years, so I'm kind of good with my hands anyway. So to build the board games and stuff, that is kind of really important to make sure the structure is correct. And I want to do it in a way where it's light, it's durable, and it's feasible, you know, so I can keep producing them. So that element of it, I don't know if that just became second nature, why I just put that to one side and was like, let me concentrate on the designs. Because the designs need to bang. Like, people need to see the stuff and go, raw, I want one. And then it started to turn into like just art pieces, like with the game in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I could even see that in a exhibition or in a gallery, you know, as well.
In August, I am having an exhibition.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, you got an event, and you've done events in the past, but talk to me a little bit about what the events entail.
The previous ones.
Yeah.
So the previous ones were really cool. I kind of like got a good link with my customers. I deliver all of my Ludo balls personally, unless they're too far.
Yeah.
And I answer all my DMs, and it's just me, bro. To be honest with you, it's just me. There ain't no one else, really and truly. So because of that, I knew that people wanted to play Ludii, people wanted to meet up. So I just designed like an event around what the people wanted. So I just kind of, and it did start a little bit like I wonder if I could do like a gallery where I bring out all the different types of Ludo boards I've made, get people to see them and play them, and if they like them,
they can purchase it.
And they can get to see which ones they prefer, because I've got like different types of finishes on the top and around the side that probably will affect how the game is played. So depending on how you like it, that initially was really the why I started the Ludii branch, but it didn't really work out like that. Everyone just came down, had loads of fun, and left. No one bought none.
But it's still good because it's the memory and the experience. Because sometimes, even though they might not buy anything, but that memory that you've given them of that day will stay with them.
Yeah.
And then when they are ready to buy, they will. They know who they're going to go to.
Yeah,
you know, they know who they're going to go to. Yeah, man, cool. So then you got the event in August now.
So yeah, that's
what's happening with that now? Like, is there a lot of what stage are we at? Are you planning it, marketing it? What's happening?
Yeah, bro, it's tough, man. It's really tough, you know, doing everything around my job. I've just literally recently stopped working nights. I did nights for about a year and a month, and I had this planned whilst I was on the night shift. But this week I just finished working nights, and it's made it a little bit easier for me to plan, because I'm awake in the day now.
Yeah.
So I can talk to people where this one's going to be different. This one's going to be like the biggest thing I've ever done, in a sense of there's going to be lots of artwork around. Lots of artwork that I've produced that people have never seen.
Wow.
Things, I don't classify myself as an artist, you know what I mean? But...
yeah, but
I've done stuff now.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say? What would you classify yourself
do you know,
as?
I wish I knew, man. I don't know, bro. Do you know, I'm just enjoying being a little bit free. Like, as you know, it's like when you grow up, the way you grow up sometimes. You just get boxed off, you know what I mean? And you just got to be this.
They put you in that category, like, you're this.
And you got to be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whenever I go places now, and people are like, right, why are you here? And I'm like, I've got to create board games. They're like, oh. And even that in itself is a good thing for me, because I want to own my own lane. So going back to the point, I think I'm just enjoying being me for the first time in a long time, probably ever, where I'm just doing whatever I want to do.
Nah, that's good to hear, man. And bruv, not many people
I know, man.
have even get to that point. So, bruv, big up for that one as well.
Thank you, man.
Big up for that.
That is important,
man. So moving on now to, you know, we got a few like insights and stuff that we talk about on the show. A technical insight now.
Sure.
So let's get into the little, you know, how it's all well. Actually, no, because we don't want to give away the method, but what sort of techniques are involved with making your designs?
Yeah, I think it's all about a good question again, because it's something I've never thought of.
Yeah,
it's just in my head, innit? But you gotta get the order right. I think I'll give you a quick example, because I can cut hair. I'm a barber as well. Well, not a barber. I used to cut hair, and I can still cut hair. Right?
Listen, you might have some people shouting you for some
exactly.
trims.
I'm just good with my hands.
Yeah,
but I remember hearing a barber say, like, there's loads of different ways to cut hair. You can start in any order. You know, you can skin around the sides, then do the top, then do the fade. Or you could just bring down the top, then skin around the sides. So you could do it. But for me, I think with a Ludo board, it's so much easier to just like have the correct order. You give yourself more room for design. So what I kind of do is, because a lot of people, they will probably build their Ludo board, sides, boards, and then they will like start painting on top of that. But I don't do that. So if you want a quick tip of how to get your designs looking a bit clean, just leave the sides off and work on your project. Literally, I mean, and it probably sounds so basic, but without the borders on, you could do a lot more. And you can spin around the board.
More freedom
it allows more freedom, and it will give you more ideas by just changing your order.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one technical insight. Love that, man. Love that. Let me just check. Next one, mindset insight. The mindset. What sort of mindset were you in when you came up with the idea of Long Live Ludi? Like, what was going through your mind at the time, you know, when you... The light bulb moment.
The light bulb moment is only really recently hit. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't want to say I've been doing Long Live Ludi reluctantly, because I haven't. But I always thought I would get into like music, art, like fashion, something that seemed to be just a little bit more cooler than painting wooden boards, right? I know it probably sounds really ungrateful saying it now, but I thought I was going to be on the stage doing some different stuff, right?
Okay, so you had a different plan, basically.
My mindset, I think my light bulb moment hit me when I just kind of like doubled down on what I was doing, and I was getting like a lot of requests from, you know, people out like in the industry-based people. I started to think to myself, oh wow, and then it's like, and then seeing other doors open, and I was like, oh, okay, this is where I really need to be, you know, and that mindset is just about sticking to the plan and just one step at a time.
One step at a time. I got a good question for you,
Go on, bro.
Because you see, now you're doing everything by yourself, like you said, but eventually, you know, your business is gonna grow, bro. It's gonna multiply. The stocks are gonna go skyrocketing. Yeah. How would you keep that same quality as the quantity goes higher as well? Because you're one artist. Are you gonna train? Would you train people to like replicate the designs you want?
Yeah. I'd like to. There's a few ways, you know, because that's another wicked question. Because there's like, you could have like a little training class and little training schools to where like I kind of like talk people through the process of designing a Ludo board best. Then it's for them to use their own interpretation and design. But ultimately, I think I would like to work with other artists. Okay, so you would be happy to let them have their own interpretation 100%. And not just follow. Yeah. Because you know, some people might have an idea now. This is the brand, this is the style. We have to stay in this guideline. Or are you, when you do expand more, would you be more than happy to let other artists and put their interpretation? Yeah, I think it's all about that. Like, I'm not too hung up on myself like that. What I would like to do is probably like, I've kind of done it before, only one other time. And soon I'm going to release something on Instagram because I'm kind of looking for someone to do a collaboration with, to be fair. But it would just be the Ludo board and it would be taped out in a specific way and then just handed over to someone to do all of the artwork. Interesting. And then once I take the tape off, it will reveal the actual game. And what they have done would have been all the artwork. So stuff like that is what I'm kind of... That'll be wicked because I think I'll keep the levels high. And I'll keep the integrity of the game still there because of the way I've marked it all out. Oh, epic, man, epic. Okay, cool. And then financial insight now. Is there, you know, like what's the biggest factor that someone has to consider? And beyond board games, but like, let's say starting a business, what's the biggest financial factor they should consider? Is it marketing? Is it like staff costs, product costs? Like, what sort of things should people consider financially? I think financially, you need to know that you ain't going to make no P's personally, like at the beginning, for the first few years or whatever. People say, 5 years, you're not going to make no money. I've always made money from the beginning of me doing this, but really, it's not money because you're investing it. Yeah, you invest it, or you're doing the work yourself, so you're not accounting for the amount of time that you've put into it or the amount of effort you've put into it. So, you know, I don't pay myself, but the business makes money. So it's like, okay, there's money there, but then it needs to be put back into the business for me to go. I ain't made any money. You're reinvesting it. Yeah, for it to grow, you know what I mean? I could do it one and live hand to mouth, but I don't really want to do that. So everything stays within that. Me personally, so I think the biggest financial implication you're going to have is that you're just not going to really have any peace. And it's just about, you know, building good relationships with people and keeping solid and don't stop, because money is going to come. Someone will invest in you. Someone will offer something, or, you know, and like I've heard you say before, like, I work, man. So I invest in that. I invest in myself. My extra bread that I would spend on, you know, whatever I want to do, I just spend it on my brand.
Yeah, man. So that's it.
I'm my own investor in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, someone's calling. Bro, sorry. 1 second. It's the next person. They're probably here now. But yeah, all good.
Yeah, man.
Cool, man. So, to round off now, closing advice. Like, what would you say to someone? You know, beyond board games again. Let's keep it like broad. Like, what would you say to someone starting up their own business, solo venture? You know, they got an idea. What would you say?
You got an idea, just do it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I always say it. Just start, man. Just do it.
Just do it. Just
like,
make it happen.
Just make it happen. See what the feedback's saying,
and
then keep it moving, because then that's the only way for you to really know if it's worth doing. And I struggled with that, so that's why it's probably my main piece of advice. You know, I waited till this age before I decided to really just try something. But if you get that early, just let it loose, man, and try and just keep trying.
100%, man, 100%. Well, this has been Creative Insight Podcast. Big up Ashley in the building, you know.
Bro, love you.
Yeah, man. Each and every time, make sure. Where can they find your board? How can we purchase a board game?
Lovely. www.
He didn't bring none for us.
I know,
brother.
I owe you guys. I owe you guys.
No, I'm playing, man. But really where can they find the board game? Where can they find it, man?
You can find it on www.longliveludi.com. You can go on there and you can secure your board game, because I don't want to add bossy, but they might sell out. So you just secure your board game for free by pressing 1 or 2 buttons. And we're on Instagram, Long Live Ludi on Instagram.
Follow him up. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we're out. Peace.